What's going on, everybody? Happy Saturday, October 19, 2024. All right. So, by the title, you can see that more DCU flops are on the way. And we, the fans, we will stop at nothing. As always, if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe. If this is the first time you're watching, hit that subscribe. Help me get to 1,500 subscribers for that free giveaway that I'm going to be doing. And I will be announcing very soon. All right. So, look, let's get right into it and talk about this. All right, so apparently there's a bunch of things that are coming out on the James Gunn and everything. And honestly, this is not impressing. Honestly, this is all just more flops in the making, and everything that's going to keep coming out is just going to be flop after flop after flop. Another one. All right. How do we know that it's going to happen? Because nothing that James Gunn has put out there is impressive. Nothing that James Gunn has put under his ruling and his regime, because this is what it is. We're in the quote unquote gunverse, if you want to say. Everything he's been allowing and putting out has just been flopping, tanking, and not performing well at the box office. Joker 2 couldn't save them, and everything they put out has not saved them. Now, WB thinks that by bringing in James Gunn now, okay, it's officially going to start in December. And we're finally getting stuff for Creature Commandos and all that crap that they're going to be putting. I'm not interested in none of that. And a lot of fans are not interested in this. It's just going to do worse at the box office. A lot of people keep on thinking that this is what they need, this is what they want, and this is what's going to save this company. No, it's not. It hasn't, and it won't. Just accept the fact. All right. The reality is that DC is in bad shape right now. Say what you want. You are the minority when it comes to the fan base when it makes up to what James Gunn is trying to put out there. Now, we already know that with Zack Snyder, everything sells. It's a brand, all right? McFarlane Toys just put out, and they crushed it in the past 2 days within yesterday and Thursday, and everything that has to do with Batman versus Superman. This whole line is doing well. It's sold out everywhere, and that's amazing because that's what WB needs right now. They need the Snyderverse so they can capitalize. They don't want to move forward with it, and they don't want to do anything, but they know that there's quality and fans will eat it up and buy it, and they're just gonna be purchasing the merchandise, and that's what's happening right now. And of course, they need funding because, of course, the flop of Joker 2, they thought that they were going to make money and it was going to help them fund their projects, and it's not. On the contrary, it's just tanking and it keeps on dropping. And even with the stocks, they're still low. They got a little bit in the green, but it's not enough. They're still like $8 or something like that. Whoa, it went up like a few cents. Big whoopee. Nothing to really be excited about. And everything that right now is officially going to come out from the DCU with James Gunn. Oh, you better get ready because that Superman 2025 needs to make $1 billion. But you know what? It's not going to happen. You know why? Because it didn't happen with Joker. And I don't want to hear no excuses. All right. Penguin, nobody's interested. The Batman 2, barely anybody's interesting. And with Joker 2, look at where it's at the bottom. Now you think that with James Gunn being here is going to change and is going to fix everything? Nope, wrong. It's not going to happen. Just accept it. Know that Superman will flop at the box office in 2025. And a lot of you might be like, well, why are you so sure that it's going to do that? Very simple, because we've been seeing for over a year now how bad WB with their DC brand is doing. Nothing has made money. Everything continues to go down and it keeps on bringing them down. And honestly, that's just bad, honestly, because this right here is going to be the fall and the nail in the coffin to this company. A lot of people might be saying, oh, well, this is what we need. This is the change and blah, blah, blah. It's not going to happen, honestly. Unfortunately, it's just not going to happen because there's nothing positive coming from this. I wish there was, but there's not, honestly. And I'm telling y'all, just don't be surprised when you see it at the box office in 2025. That movie needs to make over $1 billion. If it doesn't, it's just completely an underperformance. And that's what's coming because a lot of fans have had enough and they're tired of everything that's going on with this company. And not only that, now you see that WB is putting out, because they're marketing for whatever it is that they're trying. They're so excited for their, for the new DCU that it's officially going to start. They have this whole thing of what is it? Respect the past and embrace the future. What a joke with this company. What a joke. This company is nothing but a joke, honestly. It is. Respect the past. Okay. You want to respect the past? What about release the air cut? Huh? What about the Schumacher cut? What about all the directors that you screwed over? Where's the respect in that? That's right. WB doesn't know how to respect nothing and no one. And then now look at what they're doing. WB is turning their back on Joker because now they're blaming Joaquin Phoenix for the bad underperformance of Joker 2. Can you believe that? Are you in shock? Because I'm not. I am not surprised. That's what this studio does. This studio helps you with one side, but at the same time, they're ready to betray you. And that's what they're doing. They're turning their backs on whoever and everyone. But it's funny because they won't do that to James Gunn. At least they haven't done it yet. But we know it's going to happen. We know it's going to come. That's why I'm not surprised. And I am very positive that the DCU is going to tank in 2025. Say what you want. Say what you want, but accept the fact nothing after Zack Snyder has made money at WB. Tell me and prove to me otherwise. But you can't. You know why? Because that's the fact. There's nothing else out there that performs well like what Zach did. This is why Netflix continues to win, and they're doing what they have to do. Meanwhile, WB is still trying to figure out where and what phase they are. They don't even know phase one, how to get out of it. It's sad. It's very sad. But again, this is what they've done. This is what they built. And now, trying to blame Joaquin for the bad performance of Joker 2. Why? Because it didn't do the $1 billion that you thought it was, or 2 billion that you thought it was going to make. It's just not going to. And to everybody that's supporting James Gunn and saying, oh, well, James Gunn is going to be the change, and James Gunn is the one that's going to change DC finally, and it's going to do the best. You better hang on to your words because we, the fans, are ready with memes and everything once James Gunn's Superman tanks at the box office. And not only that, you better be ready because I know you're going to come up with all the excuses in the planet to say and try to justify, well, okay, but it was okay because it's a flop and it's a new restart and it's fine for it to tank because now the next one just wake up and accept the reality. The reality is that it will not perform well. I and like many are not interested in what James Gunn is doing. DC has officially become Marvel. That's it. It's officially become Marvel. There's a meme that's floating out, and it just came out probably today. I came across it, and it has two pictures, right, out of the four. But we'll just focus. Out of the four is the most. That's how embarrassing it is. The most bad movies that WB has put out. Right. The first one, of course, was Justice League. The second one, The Suicide Squad. The third one is The Flush, and the last one is Joker 2. That's bad. But let's look at two things that somebody pointed out in those images. Two of those movies that they thought was going to make them so much money and it was going to change DC. And what happens was the problem that they both have in common? Justice League and the Suicide Squad. They were both made by two Marvel directors, Joss Whedon and James Gunn. They either or make profit? No, it just completely put them even in the negative more than what they are. So what makes you think now that if James Gunn wasn't able to perform well with the Suicide Squad, do you think he's really going to do good with his DCU? Nope. Nope. It's not going to happen. This is why I'm fully convinced that the DCU is the end of DC. And this is what's going to finally sink this company. This disaster company, it's at a dead end. And James Gunn is not the solution. He never has been, he's not, and he never will be. James Gunn belongs at Marvel, not here at DC. Let's go back. When it came to the movies back in the 80s, in the 90s, Remember, if you're old enough to remember, if you're not familiar, just go Google it and stuff like that. When Batman Returns came out with Michael Keaton, everybody was bashing on Keaton because, of course, he had the Beetlejuice, and he was known for a comedian, and he didn't look like Bruce Wayne. And how well did the first Batman do? It blew everybody away. Everybody was like, "Wow!" Till this day, 2024, Michael Keaton is still the best Batman of that time. And look at how that movie was. It was dark. And I don't mean that it was dark in the sense that he was killing and he was doing that. It was just dark in the tone. Look at how Gotham City was. It was dark. It was eerie. There was smoke. It's wet. It's just depressing. It's sad. That's how it should be. That's nice. I like that. And look at how Batman is kicking ass in that movie when he gets that villain and he throws the batarang, he drops him, and then he's like, "Tell your friends about me." "Oh, I didn't believe you, blah blah. The rumors. Oh, it's the bat." And he's like, "I'm Batman." Okay. And then since there to now, what have we gotten? All right. Now fast forwarding time, what did WB do with Batman on the third movie after Batman Returns? And Batman Returns is even darker than what we got with Batman 89. Because, of course, you got Penguin that bites the nose of that guy and then blood's gushing and stuff like that. So it's dark. It's a dark movie. You see when Catwoman scratches the guy and does tic tac toe on his face. And then you see Batman just kicking ass. And not only that, in that movie, Michael Keaton kills two people as Batman with his character. Remember, you need me to remind you? Oh, I'll remind you. Okay. So everybody that be like, "Oh, well, Batman doesn't kill this and that." Yes, he does. You know why? Because when Batman appears with the Batmobile and he takes out that devil-looking, fire-breathing character that looked like a devil, what did he do? He takes the Batmobile, does a 360, turns the engine, and boom, hits him with the flamethrower of the thruster. So you're gonna tell me he survived that? Come on, let's be real. And then of course when I think it was Strongman that he's walking towards Penguin, and he gets the tick 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 from the waist. He cuts it. He smiles, throws the big dude into the sewer, and then boom, it goes off. So you're gonna tell me he survived that too? Yeah. See what I'm saying? So it was darker. And then what happens to the third film? Oh, Batman Forever, and then Batman and Robin. All those two movies were straight up on Disney style. So they were very bright, they were very colorful, they were very cheerful, they were very cheesy. So what happened with those movies? It didn't help out WB. And the same thing is what's happening now. What do we do with modern time? Now we have Christopher Nolan. So we get the Nolan verse and we got the Dark Knight trilogy, right? And what do we get with that? Quality. After that's done, what happens? Boom, we enter the Snyderverse era. And what happens? It's even more quote unquote realistic, but still comic accurate. How? Because now you have the start of Man of Steel, a different take, a more realistic, real world grounded, but still with the comic book feel, but no jokes and no cheesiness. It's more of a realistic, dark take on it, you know? And then what happens? The movie does good. And not only that, it's just, whoa, this is something completely new with Superman. So now you have the people that are still stuck in the 60s, 70s, and 80s. Oh, well, Superman's not supposed to do that. I don't get it. Why did Superman snap Zod's head and then blah, blah, blah. It's a more modern take. That's what Zach is doing. He was ahead of the game back then, and we're talking about 10 years. Now we're talking about 11 years because in 2023, it made 10 years from 2013 when we got Man of Steel. So 11 years, here we are still talking about it like if it was 2 years ago. And why is that? Simple, because that's quality. When there's something about quality, you're going to keep on talking about it because you can't forget it, whether it's good or it's bad. Now, when you can't remember, for example, James Gunn's movies, those are just bad. I can't even remember them. That's how bad they are. That tells you everything. That means that there's no quality. We as fans and individuals, we enjoy quality. And when you have quality, you remember from whatever it is that you're watching or reading, whatever it is. All right. So now we're entering the Snyderverse. It's a whole different take. And what happens? Oh, we're going to get the biggest movie in comic book history. Now we're going to have Batman versus Superman. But why? Because WB wanted to be like Marvel. And at that time, we already had Iron Man, the first one. So they're already one step ahead. So now Marvel is like, well, we're doing our thing, and we're just gonna keep doing it. They're building up with a plan, leading into what we got the whole Infinity Saga. Right? That's how organized they are. DC, on the other hand, is looking at them like, whoa, we want to make that money that Iron Man is doing. We want to be just like them. So what are we gonna do? Okay, you just had Man of Steel. You should have focused on Ben Affleck's Batman and then do Batman versus Superman. But what did they do? They rushed it. They rushed everything. They rushed Zack and they told him, look, we need to have Batman versus Superman. And we knew that it wasn't going to be a good idea yet. We, the fans, know what's up. But I'm glad that it helped and it worked out and everything happened. You know why? Because it helped the studio. Because again, look, here we are 10 years later and still talking about Dawn of Justice like if it was yesterday. Amazing. Amazing. See what I'm saying? That's what quality does. We're not here talking about, hey, you remember that movie from James Gunn? Oh, yeah, that corny one? Yeah, that's cheesy. See what I'm saying? Okay, Guardians of the Galaxy was good for when James Gunn was over there with Marvel. And of course, you have Marvel slash Disney backing him up and pulling all the marketing strings that they can because they want to make back their profit. That's understandable. So now what will happen? We're under the Snyderverse during that time, all right? So we get David Ayer's Suicide Squad. Yes, it's not the final version, but it's now a different director giving us a different take, and he's doing his thing with these villains. We have James Wan doing Aquaman, and look at where it went, $1 billion, because people were hungry. They wanted more of the DCEU. So what happens? We have Patty Jenkins. We have Wonder Woman. The first movie was a success. And then what happens? Oh, this is where the troubled waters come into play because now we have this little team inside WB, also known as the Hamadaverse, that are trying to make everything difficult for David Ayer and for Zack Snyder. And then what happens from it? We already know with Justice League, the mess that it caused. But then we, the fans, won and we got the Snyder Cut, the real version. We're still fighting for David Ayer and his true vision. And we'll get it in due time. Right? Now, where does this put everything with WB right now? Very simple. WB is just like if it was in the 90s. It's doing bad because Batman Forever didn't help the studio, and Batman and Robin did not help the studio. That's why you had a big time gap until we got what Christopher Nolan gave us, and it was the beginning of something new, and it changed because it was quality. Now, we're looking at it right now in 2024. We're seeing pictures, not even through James Gunn himself. We're looking at it through streamers and people that are leaking it. So if people are leaking these images of Superman, why can't James Gunn come out and officially say this is what the full costume reveal looks like front and back? And then what do we have now recently? Now James Gunn, because Zach was announcing some stuff, James Gunn had to get attention because he craves and wants attention to feed his ego. So what did he put? A picture of Superman with crypto. And now the internet is going wild, talking everything, good and bad, whatever. All right. And again, the memes keep on coming from this. What does that tell you? That nobody is respecting the vision and what James Gunn is doing. That tells you a lot. So let's look at the numbers. All right. When you have WB that they're like, you know what, we're gonna scrap everything with Ben Affleck and we're gonna do something new with the new Batman, Robert Pattinson. They do their Batman. It didn't reach the numbers that they thought it was going to work. Didn't work. Now we have James Gunn talking about he's gonna do his Batman. Even if we get that far, I highly doubt it. You think it's going to make it that far? No. So what is he doing now? Superman is pretty much everybody but Superman. You have so many people in that one movie. You're building and you're cooking disaster, honestly. Because at least in Batman versus Superman, there was a few characters. James Gunn is just like he's opening the book and saying, I'm putting all these characters into one movie. And you think that's gonna help out the movie? Nope. It's like he's trying to build already Justice League International off of one film. He's cramming all these characters into one movie. He's cramming the dog in there. He's cramming every little bit that he can. And you know what's gonna happen? Have you ever gotten a pot or a little cup or anything? Fill it up with a little bit of water. A drop, drop, drop. Give it some time. It's going to overflow. That's exactly what's happening. And that's the state of DC right now. It's overflowing, but not in a good way. It's in a bad way because it's leaked everywhere. And the mess is so messy that you don't know where to clean and pick up. It's like, oh no, what's going on with this disaster? That's exactly what's happening to this company. WB thinks that by stopping the Snyderverse and moving away from that, and let's go into this whole like Marvel phase and just make everything happy, cheerful, more positive, and let's put the underwear on the outside. Keep this in mind. We're in 2024, about to enter 2025. You think that looks good? Let's be honest. No, we're not back in the 1930s or whenever comics started because it's a different time and age. What Zach was doing 10 years ago was ahead of its time, meaning that it was modern. And even though all these years have passed, Batman versus Superman continues to age like fine wine. Man of Steel continues to be like if it was yesterday. Even the graphics and the animation still hold up to this day. That's nuts. That's quality. That's what quality does. Now, when you see what James Gunn is doing and quote unquote cooking, what is he cooking? With no flavor, no seasoning, and all that he's going to put out is going to tank. It doesn't matter if you make a video game, if you make a comic book, if you put out your merchandise, and your movie especially is going to tank because the numbers don't lie. Suicide Squad from James Gunn did not perform well at the box office. I don't want to hear no excuse. That's his first project at DC, being at DC. Why did it tank? And why did Spider-Man No Way Home made $1 billion? You see the difference? He's at DC at that time. Marvel's doing their thing with Sony, and look at how well they performed. Now James Gunn is fully in charge, and now we're entering quote unquote the real Gunverse, right? So to all the clowns and all the bozos that are out there that support James Gunn, prepare yourself, buckle up, put your seatbelt, get comfortable, because the ride is gonna be like when you go to the theme park. It goes up, 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 and it stops. That's where WB is at right now. So you're all the way up there looking down, and you're like, I wonder what's gonna be on the other side. Oh, we're gonna win, we're gonna succeed, and all of a sudden, when you least expect it, it goes down. You know where it's gonna go? Straight into Flopville, because nothing after Zack Snyder has made profit. Nothing. Remember that. Nothing after Zack Snyder at DC has made profit. Nothing. That's the sad part. WB thought, all right, that with the first Joker that they made $1 billion, oh, that's gonna help us. We're gonna do Joker 2. And we knew it since day one. Joker 2 is not going to be well. It's not gonna do good. And then when we heard rumors, oh, it might be a musical. Oh no, even worse. And look at where it's at right now. Terrible. Who would have thought? And now you have WB blaming the actor Joaquin because it's doing bad at the box office. That tells you everything. WB doesn't change. They only want and look out for their own benefit. But again, once Superman comes out in 2025, again, that movie better make $1 billion in order for it to succeed. But it's not. I'm confident that majority of us fans are going to keep our wallets closed like we've been doing for the past year and a half, starting with Birds of Prey. Since Bird of Prey, till this day, with the exception of the first Joker movie, everything has been tanking. Everything. Nothing has been making the money. And the little bit of money that they made from Aquaman 2, that's already been gone. They spend more money on The Flush. They spend so much money on Blue Beetle. They're spending so much money on everything. So Superman needs to make over $1 billion at the box office for it to be successful. And I've been telling you guys, and I've been telling everyone, you can see it from a mile away. They're going to start to fabricate their little lies and say that it's okay for you to accept the flop. The flops are the new norm. No, they're not. Get out of here with that. You cannot have a business in anything. It doesn't matter what type of business. and say that a flop it's okay, because it's not. Then why are you in business? You're in business to make money, and we the fans want quality. What's so hard? I don't get how this company is so stubborn and hard-headed to give the fans what they want. That's like going to a restaurant. You got to give the customer what they want and what they're asking for. When they ask you, how do you want your meat? Well done, medium rare, or whatever, you're going to get it how you want. They're not going to bring it to you the way that they feel that you want it, because you're going to be like, I'm not going to eat that. I'm paying for it. That's the same thing with the movie industry, the gaming industry, the comic industry, and the list continues in this industry. People don't want to hear the reality. People don't want to hear the facts. The facts are all in your face. They're everywhere. You look around 360, the numbers don't lie at the box office. All of these movies have been tanking and they continue to go downhill. It's not working. WB knows that there's money with the Snyderverse. Look at how all these toys and merchandise have been selling out from Zack Snyder everywhere. And it's not just one company, you have multiple companies that have those licenses. They could go ahead and do stuff with James Gunn's properties, but they don't do it because they know it's not going to sell. It's not profit. Why are you going to spend this much money on this brand, but you know it's not going to bring you back money? But they know that the Snyderverse sells like hot bread. So that's why you see all this stuff coming out. And it's funny how people come out with excuses and say, oh, well, the Snyderverse is only right now with merchandise and this and that. And your point is, you clowns can't accept it. That 10 years later, 11 years later, it's still selling like if it was yesterday. Why does it sell out in minutes? Because people still want it. People buy it. How come when James Gunn puts out his stuff, it always ends up at the $5 bin at Walmart or Target on clearance? Because I've seen it all overstocked. And then after that, where does it goes to? Two things. Either it goes to like Ross, where these, cheap outlets are, Ollie's or whatever it is, and at the end they just destroy it because nobody bought it. So the company tax write-off. That's the reality. That is the reality. You won't see that with Zack Snyder and his products because they're quality. They sell. See the difference? That's why to me it cracks me up when people are still trying to argue a pointless battle that, oh well, the Snyderverse isn't nothing. It doesn't sell. It sold out in minutes. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what planet you're living on, but these things are sold out everywhere. What does that tell you? That people want more of it. And the same thing that happened when we were doing the movement for the Snyder Cut. Oh, give up. The Snyder Cut doesn't exist. It's not real. It's a unicorn. You're delusional. You're blind. Blah, 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 blah. All that talk. And then what do we have now? Oh, that's right. We have the beautiful one and only Snyder Cut, the famous Snyder Cut on physical media. I get it. If I was in your shoes, I would be bitter too. I would be crabby. I would be salty. I can't believe it. I can't believe that you actually did it. And how many scoopers haven't come out and said it? I give it to you, Snyder fans. You guys don't give up. Exactly. We do not give up. Like I said, our theme is we will stop at nothing. And the same thing is going to happen with James Gunn. We, the fans, in general, not just Snyder fans, but the fans, we will stop at nothing because we do not want and we did not ask for a Superman reboot. We wanted Henry Cavill. You didn't give it to us. You're giving us somebody new, somebody different. And on top of that, it's cringe, the costume. Now you're going to throw the dog in? This is not Disney. This is not Marvel. And that's what you've become. You've allowed this company to go where it's at because you allow it. Who's to hold accountable? The studio. Who else? The ones running the studio. Who's running the studio? James Gunn, Peter Safran, and David Zaslav. Those three clowns have allowed this company to be where it's at today. You can't blame the fans because the fans know what they want. You can't blame your consumer because the consumer knows what they want. You have to blame yourself and you have to be held accountable. So what happens? We, the fans, are tired of it. Why should we give you our hard-earned money for quality that you're not giving us? We didn't ask for none of these, and you think it's best for us? We won't buy it. That's why you see them overstocked everywhere. But the moment something with Zack Snyder is announced, and it's released, boom, people go to it and it sells out. It sells out in minutes. Look at last year's SnyderCon, the whole Full Circle event. Those tickets sold out in moments, and people were paying high price. We just had an event recently this year, the one over there, the Egyptian Theater in LA. And what happened? Sold out. Everything sold out. And what happened? Boom, success. It was a success. How come we don't see that with the movies that they're putting out? Joker 2, nobody's supporting it like you thought it were. You can go right now and buy your tickets for Joker 2, and you're going to see more empty seats than what you see probably sold out. That's sad. It really is. But again, this company doesn't want to give quality, then we, the fans, are not going to support. And that's what it is. That's exactly what it is. In the end, it's all catching up to them. It's already caught up to them. And there's nothing else that could be done from it. Now we just got to sit back, watch how this ride is going to unfold, and prepare for what's coming. After Superman, you better believe. And notice what James Gunn has posted himself, that all these movies are still like on hold. Exactly. Because Superman is what's going to determine if they're going to move forward with it. And the backup plan is, what I see is happening is that they are going to have to restore the Snyderverse. Because let's look at it. Day of Superman releases, it's going to underperform. So what's next? Let's say, look at right now, Joker 2, in less than a month. It just came out this month. Joker 2 came out, what, October 4th? And it's already going on streaming by sometime next, I think in the next 2 weeks. Yeah, in 2 weeks. That's terrible. So what do you think is going to happen with Superman? We, the fans, are going to unite again, and Superman most likely will be in 2 weeks on streaming, because nothing is going to change. It's just going to get worse for this company. It's going to keep on flopping. That's why I say more DCU flops are on the way, and we, the customers, will stop at nothing, because we've had it enough with these corporations. These corporations think that they can give us what they feel is best for us. It doesn't work like that. You give your consumer and your customer and your fans what they want. If your fans have been loyal for years and they've been supporting you, why are you not catering to them? But then when you want to milk them, you go ahead and release products that you know you're going to make money off of them. It doesn't work like that. It should be, give us what we want and we will continue to support it. We know that all these shows that they're trying to do with Peacemaker, with Penguin, with the Batman, and all these spin-offs and all this stuff, it's not going to go far. It's not. And I get it. Some fans enjoy it. They like it. That's fine. But for the most part, the most majority of fans, they're not supporting it. They are not supporting it. And that's the sad part. I wish I could say, oh, I'm excited to see what's going to come out. Oh, I can't wait to see the next episode. I'm not. I'm really not. There's nothing exciting. There's nothing there that's for me as a fan. And just like that, there's many of us too. And that's the sad part. But it's the reality, because this company continues to allow this. And this right here is a product of their own, they've created this mess. And this is where we're at. So drop your comments. I'm going to check out your messages and stuff like that. So it's wild. It is completely wow. What up, Sean? Appreciate you for watching and all that good stuff. Chris, appreciate you for watching. Geek Defense, appreciate you for watching. All right, Zach was the only one with a plan. Yeah, exactly. That's the thing. Zach had a plan. David Ayer had a plan. Patty Jenkins had a plan. James Wan had a plan. But the problem is that WB didn't allow them to execute it. But it's okay for James Gunn to go ahead and move forward with his plan, right? It's okay for Matt Reeves to move forward with his plan and his concept and his ideas, right? Quote unquote ideas, because most of those ideas he stole from Ben Affleck's The Batman movie and what Zach wanted to do, with all those. Remember at the time they were talking about it, they wanted to do a Arkham. I think something that was based on Arkham, and that's what we're seeing with Matt Reeves. He's just nothing but an imposter, So it's crazy, it's nuts. Yeah, exactly. We must keep fighting for restore the Snyderverse. What up, TY? Yes, for sure. WMIR, yo, what up, what up? All right, Dominique, the DCU is not a win. Nope, it's not. Unfortunately, it just isn't. Slipknot, what up? Appreciate you for watching. All right, WB share price was at its highest over 70. When was this? Was it now or was it during the time when the Snyderverse was going? Because right now, yeah, okay, so yeah, I see the other one. All right, so yeah, now it's around $8. It's an embarrassment, It's how can it fall that low? Very simple. They're just not paying attention to the fans and giving the fans what they want, and this is just the price that they literally have to pay. If they would have gone and continued with the Snyderverse and allow Zach to do his thing, we would have been already done. I get it. Some fans are like, I'm tired of the Snyderverse and hearing about the same thing and blah blah blah. Okay, what if right now they pull the plug on Matt Reeves' universe? How would you feel? They go ahead and pull the plug on James Gunn. How his products and stuff. How are you gonna feel? You're gonna be salty also. You're gonna be like, damn, like I want to see how it ends. Now you know how we feel. That's why we continue to fight for what we want. We're not hurting nobody. We're not doing any danger or anything wrong to nobody. We're just fighting for a good cause. But then you have all these toxic James Gunn supporters that they're so disgusting that they end up pulling out, nasty tricks from the bag. I won't say what they are, but I'm sure you guys have read them and come across them on the internet. They're just disgusting. But what do? We fight for suicide prevention. We fight to put a good cause. We fight for what we believe in. That's good. We don't do the other things. What does the James Gunn followers do? They want to bash on us. Mind your own business. Let us do what we're doing. We're not going out of our way to bash you guys. We don't care. We just know it's not going to work. That's it. And then what do? They fabricate all these lies and try to make us look bad because they're bitter and they're still hurt that we got the Snyder Cut. That's how bad and wounded they are, that they can't accept the fact that we, the fans, came together and we got a studio to release the Snyder Cut. Yes, we made that possible. Okay, yeah, we were in the middle of a pandemic. So what? They needed content. Yeah, so what? But we won. Why? Because we got the Snyder Cut. Woohoo! That's what matters. That's the whole point. How come during the pandemic, and that was online, how come during the pandemic with James Gunn and the Suicide Squad, which was you can go to the theaters and you can watch it, how come that didn't perform well? Because nobody cares about it. It's not enough people supporting it. And the same thing is going to happen now with Superman. That's exactly what's going to happen. All right, when you think about it, WB have never supported even their most acclaimed directors like Richard Donner or Tim Burton. Yeah, it's true. They don't. 100 years doing this, what they're doing in this company for this business of, the movie industry or whatever. And look at how bad they're doing. It's all caught up. Exactly. Even Christopher Nolan walked away from WB. And I'm glad he did. He made the right decision, honestly. And look, WB has lost quality. That's it. We can't argue about that. WB has given up on quality and they think that they can just give us generic, products and we're going to accept it. It doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that. And as a company, you have to give the fans what they want. But when you don't give them that, you just have to pay the ultimate price. And you're seeing it with their video games. Look at how bad it's doing. Their comics is doing bad because, of course, manga and anime is crushing the industry. WB now is trying to capitalize and trying to jump into the anime and the manga, industry because they think, oh, well, we'll just make these characters into anime style. It doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that. You're not anime related. You don't know anything about anime and manga. Stick to your comics and do your thing, but just give us good comics. This is why, manga continues to crush the sales, in the comic industry and the book industry, if you want to say, because they give quality. But then DC and Marvel, what are they doing? Trying to cater to some type of agenda that nobody cares about. The video game industry, over the floor. Nobody cares about it no more. And now the movies is the same. Who are you trying to target? There's no audience for the DCU. Only people that enjoy perverted, raunchy, disgusting, pointless jokes. That's what it is. And the problem of this all is going to be the following. When we look back in 5 years and 10 years, the jokes that we're getting now are not going to age well in the future. That's the big important part. And that's why I know for sure, for a fact, that James Gunn's DCU is fully done. It's done. This is the nail in the coffin, and they're about to call it a wrap, if you want to say. Because if you look at Man of Steel, you look at Batman versus Superman, look at the first Wonder Woman, you look at Zack Snyder's Justice League, all of these movies are aging like excellent wine, quality. Every year that passes, it's more taste, more flavor. It's just more to enjoy. Every time we watch it, you catch something new. You're like, whoa, go back and watch The Suicide Squad. I can't even get through the first 5 minutes because it's cringe. I'm like, here we go. I just can't. I have to force myself. And even like that, I can't even deal with the first 5 minutes. So you think James Gunn is going to give us a different take of DC with Superman? No. Get ready because all of those jokes and all that stuff is going to be on that movie. That same style. It's James Gunn. It's the weird mind of James Gunn. That's how he is. That's who he is. That's what he puts out there. All that weirdness. And what can you do? You know? So I am not surprised, but that's what's going to happen. Charles, what up? Yo, appreciate you for watching. You know, it's just nuts. It's nuts how this studio has literally abandoned its fans, turned their back on the consumer, and given up on quality. How do you give up on quality? It doesn't work. It just doesn't work. You know? You're going to go from high-end products to generic cheap products. It's bad. It's really bad. That's why a lot of people are like, "Oh, we'll give them a chance and it hasn't officially started." I did give him a chance. A lot of us gave James Gunn a chance. Not once, but twice. The Suicide Squad is the first chance. I'll rewatch it because probably I was a little bit too hard. So let me give him an extra chance. That's two chances with one product. All right. Didn't like that. Peacemaker. All right. I'm going to give it another chance just because, again, so people don't say that's four chances with two products at DC from James Gunn. I'm not impressed. Nothing is going to change from here to Superman. It's only going to get worse. Why do you want me to be forced to watch and accept something that is just not going to deliver? That's the problem. This is what they call the focus group era of TV and film. I miss Siskel and Ebert, who could criticize film and TV with professionalism. Excellent, excellent point. Let's talk about that real quick. The problem with today, and like Joker said, we live in a society that nobody can accept criticism anymore. Everybody's right now a critic, but you can't criticize them. It's funny. It's really funny. It's a bad joke, but it's true. How? You can't say that you like this movie or that movie because now you have within the same fans attacking you. And it shouldn't be like that. If we're DC fans, right? Why, if I say restore Snyderverse, why when I go on certain groups or certain forums, you have everybody from James Gunn coming down and talking all type of smack. They even ban me, they block me, they name call me, they threaten me, and everything. That's okay, right? That's acceptable. Let's do that, right? That's fine. No, no. But then when you say that you like one thing, and I just give my one little opinion, oh, everybody has to come down and everybody has to say something. That's the problem with today's society. People don't know how to accept criticism. Criticism is a good thing as long as it's professional. You can tell somebody, it's like the old saying says, it's not what you say, it's how you say it. You can say that movie was a big pile of crap, or you can say, you know what, that movie didn't live up to what it was. That's what it is. People just can't accept reality. Everybody's so used to social media. Everybody's so used to everything has to be glamour and everything has to be, let me kiss your ass here and then over there and let me roll the red carpet and let me clean your shoes while I'm at it. No, man, stop it with the hypocrisy. You have so many YouTubers that fall under this category. And then just because they want to please this company or that company, and I'm going to get some free merchandise and I'm going to get some free tickets, early screenings, blah, 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 you go ahead and roll out the red carpet for them. No, it doesn't work like that. Whenever Rotten Tomatoes puts out a score and they say, oh, that movie's the best thing, be careful because that means that movie sucks. And then when a good quality movie comes out, They're like, oh, that movie wasn't good. It didn't perform. Is rotten. It's not fresh. And you watch it, it proves them wrong. So what the hell? It's like it's crazy. It really is. Facts. That's all we try to do here. We all try to just talk and interact and say how it is. But majority of people don't want to hear the facts. That's the problem with our society. People are so stuck walking around like a zombie in their own little world, in their own little bubble, that when you give them real criticism, oh, it hurts. It hurts. Oh my God, you hurt me with criticism. So what? We're all entitled to opinions. And while we're talking about opinions real quick, all right, I'm just gonna put it out there. I had this little group of bozos. They know who they are. I'm not gonna name call them. Don't even put their names on the chat. But I put my content on my channel. And they always have to go and talk about my point of view. What's it to you? It's called my point of view on my channel. If you don't agree with it, that's fine. I don't go out of my way and say, oh no, they wrote about me. Now I have to go right back. Why? That's so unprofessional and immature. And they know who they are. Constantly obsessed with me for no reason, just because they don't like my opinion. My opinion's my opinion. That's who I am. I'm not going to sugarcoat anything for nobody. That's it. Everybody's entitled to their opinion. If it bothers you, that's your problem, not mine. I stand my ground in what I believe in. And if you don't see that point of view, step aside. Step aside. I don't have time for that. I'm here for the ones that understand and we can disagree. It's okay to disagree as fans. It doesn't matter. In today's society, it's okay to disagree on anything. For example, if I tell somebody, I don't eat pizza with pineapple, but then somebody's like, oh, you have to eat it. Oh, it's a crime that you don't eat. How could you not eat pizza with pineapple? Or blah, blah, blah. I just don't like it. That's it. Don't try to make me accept something that you want. It's the same thing when it comes to this. I like the entertainment that I like. Look, like I said, and I talk about it. All right. I love Zack Snyder, but I don't worship him. We're not a cult. I like and I love some of his movies. Not everything, but I do love what Zack gave us with the DCEU. That's it. I love what David Ayer gave us with Suicide Squad. That's it. I love what Michael Bay gave me with the Transformers live action. A lot of people get hurt and they get offended by that. I don't like everything of whatever one thing is. And it's okay. It's okay. I enjoy and I love the Amazing Spider-Man, Andrew Garfield. And then you have the other half of fans of Spider-Man. Oh, how could you? You can and this and that. That's what I like. I don't like this and I don't like that. That's fine. Everybody's entitled to it. Now, when it comes to fans, that's the beautiful part about us. We're all fans. We enjoy it. I'm not going to go ahead and tell you, hey, look, I don't like that version of Batman, and you shouldn't either because of this and because of that. I'm just going to tell you, hey, look, I don't like that version of Batman because whatever reasons. Or I don't like that version of this character because of this, whatever. I don't like that director's vision like we're at right now with James Gunn. I'm a DC fan, but I just don't like what James Gunn is putting. That's it. And a lot of people have to go out there and, oh, well, he has a different opinion. Now I have to give my 2 cents because nobody asked for it. Now I have to give him and I have to teach him and I have to blah, 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 blah. Shut up. Nobody's going out of the way for you. That's the same thing when it comes to this. It's all entertainment. I don't take it that serious. That's all it is, you know? Zack Snyder said it best. WB was looking to sell toys, and that's not what his films are about. That's true. And look at how much his toys are selling. It's crazy, you know, because people love that quality. Question for the chat. If characters like Superman are supposed to be kept in this two-dimensional box, never to be tested, never to be tried, then how does that character grow or learn? Good point. Very good point. Whoever wants to go ahead and comment on that, go for it. Exactly. You have to let the character or whatever it is in the story unfold. And then we'll see what comes from that. Whatever take it is, you know, because that's just how it is. All right. Why would you limit your storytelling to Superman never being tested and reduce him to just getting cats out of trees? Very true. Good point. Good point, Charles. You know, it's like Yeah, that's the crazy part, it's just, again, you sometimes you have quote unquote fans that try to disguise themselves as a fan, and they're like, well, you know what this is missing? It's missing this and it's missing that, when it's already pretty much been done. you know Zack Snyder gave us a different take of Superman, a very modern, realistic, with the comic book feel. It wasn't like what Christopher Nolan gave us. Don't get me wrong, I like what Christopher Nolan did. I enjoyed his Dark Knight trilogy, but it was too much, because it's like, all right, it's gonna get to the point where certain characters you cannot bring into the real world. For example, in his universe, Clayface. How do you do Clayface? Now Matt Reeves is gonna be stuck with that, because Matt Reeves is also trying to do like Christopher Nolan, but he's trying to make it more of a more realistic world type of thing. How are you going to bring in Clayface into this world? How? You get what I'm saying? Like, certain characters you won't be able to. And he's even said it. Some things are just not going to be able to be, possible, because it's just not possible. And that's what happens when you bring these characters into a very real life setting. That's what I enjoyed about Zack Snyder. Zack Snyder gave us these characters that they were somewhat in the real world, but of course, this is all fake. It's not a real world. And we know nobody's flying out there with a freaking cape and swinging around rooftops with a freaking the grapple and stuff like that. So we understand that, but he made it believable, because when he gave us Wonder Woman, I remember, look, talking to you right now, to everybody, when I saw that first scene when Wonder Woman appeared in Batman versus Superman, I was like, boom, that's it, it's over. I was like, oh, that's so nuts, the way that Zach threw her into a first movie live action. I was like, wow. I remember everybody was cheering in the theater. Whoa, everybody was going like, Wonder Woman. And look at where we're at right now. What have they done with that? They haven't done anything. She was a badass warrior. And what happened under the Hamadaverse? They turned her into a joke. Look at what Wonder Woman 84 is. It's that's a parody. That's not even the movie. It's an embarrassment. Like, they made her so weak, and it's like, why are you guys doing this to your own IP characters? It just doesn't make sense. It really doesn't make sense. All right, Rotten Tomatoes is complete BS rating system. There's a scarecrow horror named Husk 2011 at 80% fresh. Critic score and 26 audience score. The reason it has 80 is because only 5 critic reviews. Interesting that you bring Rotten Tomatoes into the picture. All right. When it comes to Rotten Tomatoes, it's just one way or the other. Very simple. Whoever pays Rotten Tomatoes the most is how Rotten Tomatoes is going to put your review. If you tell Rotten Tomatoes, hey, look, Rotten Tomatoes, I have $1,000 to give you if you give me a quick shout out, they're gonna go ahead and let's go. Now, if you tell them, hey, Rotten Tomatoes, all I have is $50. What can I get with that? They're gonna take your $50. They're gonna laugh in your face, and they're gonna spit in your face, because they're gonna go ahead and do a review that they're gonna make you look more of a buffoon, because they took your money. They're gonna do your quote unquote review, and they're gonna make you look even more ridiculous. That's the problem with Rotten Tomatoes. It's they pick and choose. As long as you keep paying them, the more that they're gonna keep on giving you a positive review. And we can see it clearly with Marvel. Marvel and Disney always have high ratings, like we saw with The Little Mermaid recently. Should we get into that? No. But you already saw that. Oh, it's a high, what it was, like a high 80s, it's a high almost 90s or something. And then the audience score, it was so low. What does that tell you? Of course, they're being paid just to give those fake reviews. That's what happens. And that's the same thing that's been happening to a lot of YouTubers too. They've been selling out. They grew their fandom on the Snyderverse. We already knew some of these channels who they are. I'm not going to mention them. And what did they do? After they grew, they turned their backs. And now they call us toxic. But hold on, you grew your channel off of the Snyderverse. So you rode the wave of fame, and now that you got up there, you think you're untouchable because you have over 10,000 followers. And now you decide to turn your back on your fans to help you grow? Come on, man. Come on. Since day one, whoever's been following me, I want to say thank you. Because I remember when I was on this channel and I only had one person, two persons, three, four, five. Slowly it's been growing. Sometimes no views. And I was like, I'm not stopping. I'm going to keep on doing my thing. And now that you see these videos that are hitting up to thousands and past thousands, I'm honored. I'm honored to each and every one of you. I'm in your debt. You know why? Because you all motivate me and you give me the strength to every day put another video and talk about whatever it is that I talk about. And I get it. We're not going to always agree. That's fine. You have to remember, hey, we're fans. That's all it is. And I get it. Sometimes our point of views are just not going to match. It's always going to be one or the other. But that's okay. But when you come at me wrong, tell you straight up, I'm just going to ignore you and just not pay attention to it. But I am going to keep on fighting for us. And like I said, even if I'm the last one standing, still fighting for Restore the Snyderverse and release the air cut, so be it. You know why? Because there's one fan that still believes in it. There's always somebody that believes in it. And you can see that now more than ever, we continue to grow. And you can see it. Merchandise sells out. Like, it's just nuts. People are asking for it. People want more of it. And again, it shows you with the box office. The numbers don't lie. Ticket sales are not selling for what James Gunn is putting out there, and they're not going to sell for Superman because majority of us want Henry Cavill to finish what we were robbed from with Black Adam. Black Adam was on the path to give us something new, to give us something different, and it was going to fix everything that was messed up from the previous, like people that were in charge of stuff. And then what happened? That's when James Gunn came in and completely screwed everything up. And look at where we're at right now. Because he continues to give his notes and keeps on screwing with things. But we, the fans, don't forget, and we will get them at the box office, like we got them with Joker 2. They thought that with Joker 2, they were going to make so much money. And look at that. Terrifier 3, an underground low budget movie, came out of nowhere and completely wrecked Joker 2. That tells you a lot. That says a lot. And that's because of the fans. All right, let's see. All right, Zack Snyder did you take characters with a certain set of morals and doctrines, and then you test them, you push them to their limit. Exactly. That's what I like about what Zack did with Superman, what he did with Wonder Woman, and what he did with Batman. Because what he did with them was something unique, original, still staying to the source, not 100%. And that's fine. You don't always have to stay 100% to the source. Create something new, create something original. And that's what he gave us. It was so original that Marvel had to copy him because what we saw in Endgame and Infinity War, that's straight up a copy of what the concept from Zack Snyder was doing with the Justice League and everything. And it's like, wow, he was ahead of the game. It's nuts. But you get these people nowadays that they don't understand quality. All right. We're not a cult. Exactly, we are not. But we do enjoy some stuff that Zack Snyder did. For example, I think Legend of the Guardians is okay, but I didn't. It was good. Some things with Sucker Punch, I thought it was meh. Yeah, okay, that's fine. I like Sucker Punch. I like the style, the graphics, and all that. It wasn't the best story, but when it comes to entertainment, it did a good job. It took my mind away from reality, and that's all I care about. That's why some people is like, I don't get it. He did that with Batman. Yep, true. All right. Were you talking about the live action Little Mermaid? Yeah, that's the one. We know how bad that did. And now we're seeing it with what Snow White's going to be next year. It's going to be completely a train wreck. 29% critic score for Batman versus Superman is unacceptable. Exactly. Because of course, probably at that time WB didn't pay him enough money. And of course, Rotten Tomatoes, they took Disney's side and probably Disney paid them off more and say, hey, look, we want you to bash on them and don't make that movie a success because Disney is afraid with what DC is doing with their IP. In other words, Marvel is scared of what DC does, and that's why they did Captain America versus what is it, Iron Man? I don't remember which one it was, Captain America versus Iron Man, and because they wanted to compete, they even said it. They wanted to compete against Batman versus Superman, and of course Disney has Disney money, so they did what they did, and they can get away with it because they can afford it. All right, you won't be fighting alone, CS. I'm gonna campaign for the Snyderverse to continue until the wheels fall off this bit. You already know it. we will stop at nothing. That's how we have to do. All right, Terrifier stomped the dog shit out of out of Joker 2, and then threw that film a napkin and said, "Now go clean yourself up." Oh man, you know what? That's wild. Who would have thought? Seriously, let's just look back. Let's just look and analyze that situation. Who would have thought that an underground movie of another clown, R-rated, and that's another thing too. That tells you another thing. Wake up, DC. People don't want PG-13. People don't want PG. People want rated R movies, especially DC. All these movies should be rated R. I don't want to see a. You might as well just make Superman 2025 rated G for everyone. I mean, you already have the dog, you have the underwear. I mean, what else? You know, you have him saving cats from trees. I mean, what is he gonna do? You know, the whole Boy Scout type of thing. I mean, I just it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. How is this company allowing this? DC has always been dark. Why are they trying to be so cheerful, bright, and happy? It just doesn't go through my mind. That's like trying to squeeze in a rectangle a triangle shape. You're trying to force it, it'll never go in. That's exactly how this studio is right now. Makes no sense. The true DCU must return. Yes, yes, indeed. The true DCU that was with what Zack Snyder had and what David Ayer and all of these directors were doing. That's the true DCU. Because I remember at Comic Con, I think it was what 2012, right before no, I think it yeah 2013 that they had the cast for Batman versus Superman. Zack Snyder, and you can Google it. I've put it on a video on my past videos when Zack was at what was it at San Diego Comic Con, and they were like, you know, this is the DCU right here. I was like, hell yeah, that's what I'm talking about. All right, the Ultimate Edition of Batman versus Superman is 10 times better than the theatrical edition. Yes, if they would have released that in the first place, it would have been good. Cause look, since the beginning again, look, Batman versus Superman was supposed to be rated R. I get it. Man of Steel is PG-13. That's fine. You don't have to make that rated R. But Batman versus Superman, it's a big difference. The Ultimate Edition to what WB tried to give us again with the studio version. It just doesn't make sense. I'm like, why doesn't the studio just give us what we want? I mean, it's gonna sell regardless. Facts. Hewlett Zemo as Luthor Batman was Tony Stark and Superman was Captain America. They completely scrapped the real story of Civil War. Yeah, Civil War. There you go. Vastly different from the comic because they copied Batman versus Superman. Yep, that's exactly what happened. Yeah, they wanted to copy them, and they even said it that they wanted to go up against them. So it's ridiculous. I mean, it is what it is. But again, if WB would have just stuck with the R-rated version and just let Zach fully cook, we wouldn't be in this mess that we are in today. But it's because of the studio, not Zach. Zach was being rushed by WB and the executives. He was just doing what he could with the time he had. All of Zach's DCU movies are fantastic and superior to the garbage WB's been making. That's true. Completely agree with you. Batman versus Superman superior to Civil War. Civil War. You know what? Even though for Civil War, what we got, I enjoyed it. I'm not gonna sit here and say no, I didn't enjoy it. I enjoyed it. You know, it was something different. I was like, damn, as a fan, I'm like, I'm gonna eat from both of them. Like I'm gonna eat from Batman versus Superman DC and from Marvel with Civil War. I mean, like they're both their own thing, but I saw a lot of similarities and I was like, oh, okay, yeah, they're trying to be like Batman versus Superman. But in the end, I give it all to Batman versus Superman because like when they went at it, I was like, hell yeah. And then what they did at Civil War, they needed Spider Man. They built that whole Avengers again. I was like at the airport scene, I was like, all right, you need to rely back on your Avengers in order for you to sell tickets and stuff. And I was like, this is Batman versus Superman going at it. That was a whole different take and stuff like that. So yeah, I have it on 4K. They have yeah, they copied Batman versus Superman, but Civil War was not that bad. Yeah, it was enjoyable. I gotta say that the first leading up to Endgame, that whole not everything, but for the most part, what the MCU did, it was enjoyable. I liked it. It was more to me more solid than what it is now. Now it's like I don't even have words to describe what it is now. I'm like, what is this? What it's become. It's no longer. I don't know. It's just different right now. But again, this is what's happening with this studio. There's I really don't expect anything to be coming good from what they're trying to put out, and everything is going to determine and tell you in 2025 with Superman. Superman is going to tell all of us what and where this company is headed. And I wish I could be positive, but I'm just not. There's nothing to be positive about. It's James Gunn we're talking about. What has James Gunn put that's profit and it's good? It's not. He disrespected the Justice League in Peacemaker. Complete embarrassment. Disrespectful. That's an insult to us the fans, to the readers from the comics, to everything that this company stands for. I mean, you're talking about the Justice League. You're going to disrespect them the way that you did in Peacemaker? You couldn't even have Batman as a silhouette. You didn't even bother having Cyborg in the silhouette. So you half-assed the Justice League. And you know that a lot of fans like the Justice League. And then you're going to go ahead and have Aquaman with perverted raunchiness along with the Flash. Come on. Like, it's an embarrassment. It just look, James Gunn has said it himself. He does not take these characters serious. He doesn't respect them. So if he says that, what do you expect from a director like him? That he doesn't care about the source. He doesn't care. He's just gonna do what he wants to do because he's in charge. And that's why his ego is going to lead this all the way down Flopville. And I can't wait. I just can't wait. I'm tired of arguing with people. It's not going to get off the ground. It's not going to go anywhere. This is why he's trying to cram everybody into one universe, into one movie. He's trying to do what Zack did with Batman versus Superman, but he's trying to put steroids so it could be pumped even more. I'm like, this is completely going to this is going to backfire very, very bad. I'm telling you, it's just not. All right, so let's see. Superman L will fail by catering to the vocal minority, toxic fan base. Yep, it's not enough support for it. It just isn't going to work. All right, what's your favorite Marvel Cinematic Universe movie? That's a good one, but one that I really like and I really enjoy. I know a lot of people don't like it, but I just really like Iron Man 2. Iron Man 2, that's one of my favorite ones, especially because we got War Machine for the first time. And when I saw that, I was like, yeah, this is I like War Machine more than Iron Man. I was like, that's badass. And I don't know. I just like Iron Man 2. I really do. That's my guilty pleasure if you if you want to say. But they do put out some good movies. I haven't seen everything from Marvel, and it's just I don't know. I haven't seen Doctor Strange. Don't care about it. I seen only episode. Was season one of Loki. Didn't care about the second one. I didn't see Hawkeye or whatever that series is called. I don't even remember anymore. Like it's just not. It's just not appealing to me. All right. I haven't seen Winter Soldier, but every time it's mentioned, I see people say it's the best Marvel movie. Yeah, it's one of the good ones, honestly. You could see the route they wanted to go. They wanted to go more like almost a R-rated type of movie if Disney would have allowed it. Um, but it's good for what it is. It's more serious if you want to say. It's not very like what we have now. Like everything is a joke and stupidity here and there. No, that one's it's more solid. It's like kind of mature if you want to say. You should check it out. Check it out if you see it on streaming or something. All right, Iron Man 2 grew on me. Yeah, Iron Man 2 is a good movie, honestly. And then there's another thing too while we're on this topic with Iron Man 2. Where is the guy that created what is it, War Machine? And I know the last time he went to jail, but how come he hasn't been brought up anymore? The same thing with the first Iron Man. Can't remember his name. The bald dude, the big guy that made the first I think Ironmonger or whatever. Where he's at. Like where are these characters at? They're just hiding? I mean, it's crazy. And there's another one too. I can't remember right now, but and Whiplash. Where's Whiplash? It's like where are these characters? Like they were part of that. They should come back. I don't know. Sometimes they should just go back and watch it. I'm gonna be real with you. I'm not really too much into X-Men. I've really never been into X-Men. I only like somewhat Wolverine in the comics. I mean, not the comics, the cartoon, but I'm just not an X-Men fan. I've never liked X-Men, honestly. I've seen their movies, but I think they just have too much powers, I guess. It's like they bend metal like Magneto, and like I don't know, it's just too much. I don't know. I just could never get into X-Men that much. All right, let's see. All right, we saw that one. All right, cool. So drop your comments. I'm about to take a few more minutes. I'm about to get going. So it's a good little chat we got going on right here. So, like I said, I appreciate everybody that's here watching and, you know, showing the support, showing the love and all that good stuff. On that way to 1,500. We're almost there. And once we get to that, I'm going to be doing a random giveaway. So I'll let you guys know as we get closer. I'll be showing what I'll be giving away and all that stuff. So, and behind that, I also have some more, little goodies and stuff like that. So we could be having more stuff for y'all and all that. So, but yeah, so let me take another minute. If you guys don't got no more, then I'll get going. So you got 30 seconds. But again, I appreciate y'all for watching and all that good stuff. So, you know, all we need is just good movies. Honestly, it's just so hard. Why can't Hollywood just continue to give us quality movies? It's like that's all we want. That just good quality movies. All right, appreciate you, Charles, for tuning in. Catch you on the next one. All right, then. So I'm about to get going. I appreciate y'all for watching. Y'all stay safe. Enjoy your day. Most likely, I'll be back again tomorrow, Sunday, probably in the nighttime or some time of the day. I don't know, one of the two. So just look out for that, and then we'll do another chat. So hell yeah, you already know DCU will fail. Oh man, yep. It's been extremely satisfying sticking it to WB for screwing us out of the DCU. Keep those wallets closed. Yep, that's all we're gonna be doing. And in the end, we will be winning. That's all we're doing right now. All right, then. So y'all stay safe. Have a good weekend. Catch y'all tomorrow. And until the next one. All right, peace.